soon as I saw the initial program that you get, this was one of the sessions that I marked as a must-attend session. Whenever Rob talks about the work that Firemint have done, the level of detail, the analysis that he goes into, is second to none. So I'm delighted to be here as a part of this session. I want you to join me in welcoming Rob to the microphone.
Thanks, Tom. Tim Stelman gave an excellent presentation last night, and what I really loved about it, he did rather than do a post-mortem on a 3-year project and compress that into 1 hour, he talked about one specific 20-minute chunk of the game and all the detail that they went through in making those decisions. And that was great, but this is totally the opposite. Unfortunately, what I'm doing today is looking at our journey into self-publishing. So we're going to, what has ostensibly been a 10-year journey to get to where we are, and particularly the last year or so that we've managed to move from work for hire development to self-publishing. I'll try and cover generically. So if you have any questions, I'd really encourage you to just ask right on the spot, because you might get something more interesting and specific out of me that way, and then you know, have something that people can actually take home. Otherwise, it might, you know, I fear it might get a bit generic, and I'd like you to have something to grab onto. Got this device, of course. So our experience has obviously been with the Appstore, so keep that in mind. I can't speak for retail box product and even digital distribution more broadly. In the Appstore, it's its own unique animal. And of course, it hasn't been overnight success as much as some of the stories about flight control would have you believe. Though that is a very exciting story that I can do that at home as a hobby project. But it's been 10 years, and I think what we have done quite well is had a very balanced and incremental approach to growth. And we're not just focused on, haven't just been focused on one element or one model and, you know, one sort of success factor. Obviously the team at Firemint has grown. I founded it in 1999, working in the home office, and you can see there when you lay it out in 2-year segments, it's pretty balanced growth. A lot of, obviously you get pretty fast to 30 people, and now we're trying to keep it a size where we can make that, fully realise this transition to self-publishing. If we get too large, it just gets harder. So we were at a fortunate crossroads in the size of our company when the iPhone opportunity came up, and I think that's been key. But the other thing, the other factor of growth that we've been very focused on is this move towards self-publishing. And you'll see there again, very incremental. We started off doing developer subcontracts. We do anything that could pay the bills next month. So, and you move our way up the value chain. Every time we work for developers, we learn from developers. We work for the startup publishers, we learn from them, and then we learn from premium publishers, and then we learn to do original work. And eventually, we feel that we've got, you know, we know all the things we need to know to sort of make that last transition. And the other factor that we're always watching is not to grow faster than we can fund as well. So improving our financial strength all the way along has been really key. Helps me, you know, obviously to help me sleep at night beyond anything else, because it is all a self-funded company. So we start off covering bills and move on to sort of some good solid cash flow forecasting, and you get on top of that, and then you realise, well, cash flow is not really the issue. Now we can look at projects that are more profitable, and you know, you start to do some profitable work for hire model, and then you look at, well, where's a lot of the revenue, consumer revenue going? And so that's a very natural transition into self-publishing as well from a financial perspective. But we had to build up that strength to do so, as well as a strategic vision. It's not just about having the finance there; it's about, you know, really seeing how far ahead can you envision in your industry, and how much of your industry do you get to observe. So again, working with publishers is the most beautiful way of coming to understand the industry. You're seeing it through their eyes. So just before Flight Control came out, which was our first significant self-published game, we'd been published on close to 30 titles. And I've highlighted 3 key titles there that some of you may or may not know of, and I've highlighted them because they're all very difficult, original games, and they're more original than just taking a brand and having to do a game around it. These ones were relying on gameplay that we hadn't seen anywhere else. So we really cut our teeth there as well. We didn't just jump straight into original self-publishing. Had we not done that, it would be smarter just to start by publishing something very derivative, get some practice in publishing, or vice versa, doing an original for a publisher, so you get their guidance. But we did come to 2008, we published close to 30 products. We had some reasonable strategic vision and a good financial position, and we've been training ourselves and myself and the teams to build original products. By the way, mobile was exceptionally good training there because you get so much product granularity. Every 6 months you get to do a post-mortem and have a look and what did you learn. I really can't speak for console. It's such a long and difficult process to make a AAA console game. But that was an advantage for us. And so we came to this point, we were strong, we were motivated, we were hungry, drive to win in the studio. We obviously had strong development skills, which is what we trade on. This is what all developers trade on. Publishers wouldn't be outsourcing to any of us if we couldn't do the job better than they could do it internally. Or, they obviously outsource if they can't squeeze the projects out as well. But, that's what we're trading off. And fast and flexible compared to a publisher. We had this other advantage that I don't know many work-for-hire developers think about this, but fitting original development around your publisher work is a brilliant way to reduce the cost of your work-for-hire as well. So now that we're able to self-publish and take it to the iPhone, and we know it's actually going to go live there, we can always be doing something valuable. That 15% contingency that used to be, now you work on some tech or you try and pitch on another product, it's no longer really lost in just marketing and tech. We can actually potentially get some consumer revenue from it. So those are all the strengths, but by far there are more challenges and more gaps between where we are and where we need to be as a publisher. We're lower on the bandwidth required and the sort of people, the sort of skills, no established brand. We didn't know what the market could do for us. We didn't know what the sales figures were or how to succeed, what was important in succeeding really. We knew what good games were, but as far as we knew, it was all brand, or it was, we just don't know. So probably the most difficult thing was just that lack of knowledge, because it puts you in a situation of fear and uncertainty and makes it a very much bolder move. We also couldn't aggregate our risk across different products. Having said that, in mobile we could have done 10 products instead of what we really did was focusing on real racing, but that wasn't exactly aggregating